Happy Saturday! We are continuing with this holiday liminal space that we're in. And it's a little bit gray out today, but that's perfectly fine. And I'm getting over whatever this sinus thing was that I have, so love that. We are going to see what the sun, moon, and star spread has to say today for you. Let's see here. I feel like maybe one more. No, two more. Okay. In the 1 and 2 and 3. Oh, how interesting. Okay, so great. So in the sun position, what's being illuminated? We have the 7 of Cups. So you realize that you probably have more choices than you thought. Now, this can be good. On one hand, it's kind of like expansive, which is nice because sometimes we think, oh, well, I only this or that, or yes or no. But this is like, no, you've got 7 options. So on one hand, it's kind of nice. On the other hand, it can be a little bit overwhelming, or we might suffer from like analysis paralysis, or what's that phrase? Like your executive functioning's not working because like there's so much, you're like, I don't even know. So this card can talk about like indecision or not being sure how to make a decision. So what do you want to be making a decision about? It's interesting. There's lots of options. You have lots of options. In the position of the moon, we have the 9 of Pentacles. So this is what's needing to be released. And sometimes this is a card of solitude. She is alone in her garden that she has created for herself. So she's spent a lot of time and energy getting to this point. 9s also represent getting close to the end of a cycle. It's like you've done 90% of the work. So she has created this environment for her that's nourishing to her. She really likes it, but she had to do a lot of this work on her own. And so I think that in the releasing aspect, some of this might mean you won't be having to do this alone, or you want to figure out like how to do this with someone else, like, or with your community, right? And maybe that's the thing, is like, I would like to go through life and my enjoyments with like some people, but I don't know where to get that, right? And the guidance moving forward is the Hanged Man. So in the star position, the Hanged Man is talking about, ultimately it's about a change in perspective that teaches you something, or you learn something, right? Like this person voluntarily decided to hang upside down for a while, and the glowing light around his head is not just an indication of all the blood rushing to the head, but it means that there is there's like a light bulb moment or an enlightenment, an illumination, if you will, that the change in the perspective has brought him. So, if you have a decision to make, and it might be about, because the 9 could also talk about like, not so much like hoarding things, but it's like the 9, she has plenty of pentacles and she has this wonderful environment that she's created. So it's almost like maybe she's figuring out what to actually, like, you don't have to do everything for yourself, right? That's why I was kind of getting like, it's also a solitary card. So I was getting like, it has to, I feel like you're releasing this solitary aspect and you're thinking about how does this affect other people, or do I want to interact with people more? Like what do I actually want to do with what I have? It doesn't all need to be for me. And whether it's your like personal relationship or your finances or something in your community. And again, that's kind of where the decision comes in. It's like, well, what do I want to do with this? You might have to change your perspective to actually get some guidance or to get some clarity about what you want to do. Like maybe you thought, I keep thinking about like dating, because sometimes you think, oh, well, I don't know where I'm going to go meet people, right? And you're like, I could go to a bar, or I could go to an event, or I could do a meetup for this or something. And you're just kind of like, I don't know, there's so many different decisions, but it's like, maybe you just need to change your perspective. I just saw this funny thing on Instagram yesterday about people just sliding into DMs and meeting people. And I remembered that 2 of my oldest friendships I actually met via Tumblr, like over 10 years ago. We started chatting on Tumblr. And so there are lots of different places that you can meet people. But if you're only stuck thinking about it one way, you're not going to have that light bulb moment. So let's pull an oracle card from the Poesis deck just to get a little bit more clarity. And sometimes these cards shuffle so nicely, and sometimes they get a little shy. So they're doing okay today, though. There we go. Let me maybe do one more. Perfect. It's the Leap card. So this is very much related to this spread beautifully, because sometimes, like, what did I say earlier? Analysis paralysis. You're not sure which decision to make. It's like, but making a decision is 99% of the time better than not making a decision. And Leap, it's like, this card is like, you have to change your perspective. Like, you can't stay the same way. You can't stay the same way. And the Pentacles also sometimes talk about like valuing stability more than risk, right? And so I feel like this is a calculated risk. Like, you're taking time to make the decision. It's not like a dangerous risk or anything like that. But take the leap to change your perspective, because I think you're moving in a really good direction.